Since we are entering shadow season and we're already fully engaged in the energy of shadow, as we can see, for every archetype that comes with some energy of light, there is a shadow behind it. For instance, the area of the ruler is also known as the energy of the tyrant. The movement of the ego and having a lot of pride, being very egocentric, and also chasing money and success at all cost. You tend to have a lot of destructive behaviors. And while we might judge you, some people are losing a lot of love for you. In the energy of the caregiver, you're also seen as the energy of the slave, the civil servant who just does not feel accomplished or even having the energy of gratitude. Sometimes you play victim, and there's a huge problem of you saying no, just say no, just say no. People tend to guilt trip you, or you guilt trip others. The energy of feeling inadequate seems to be at your beck and call. There could be energies of anger and even frustration. For the energy of the everyman, very casual, very simple, very basic, and also seen as a follower. But yet that follower energy is also very manipulative. You're afraid to be left out, and you have a problem of feeling left out. Also, sometimes you can feel very codependent, helpless, and you want to fit in at everything and anything that needs you. You're kind of like a pick-me. For the creator, and I know I'm talking to you, bitch. For the creator, you're kind of a destroyer. You're a little bit of a perfectionist, and you lack a little bit of stability. You want to do it all, be it all, and have it all. There is no energy for comfort when you're always trying to create. It's hard to accept things and even people. Sometimes you feel a little bit out of control, but you just cannot get centered with your emotions or your area of consciousness. You're kind of a fuck up. The innocent, again, that sounds almost like a victim. So innocent, but are you really? When you're manipulating the situation, you lack responsibility and you're inclined to follow what everybody else is doing. You tend to obey more than you lead, and you ignore the reality and the perfect perfections of truth. You are very naive and you tend to blame others. Stop that. For the explorer, everything feels so grand and big, but there's almost like this raider energy about you. You feel lost and you also feel unfulfilled. That's why you keep yearning for more, because you cannot settle. The energy of danger, seeking, journey, and bravery is just your lack of center that will probably find you addicted and also self-destructive. Your restlessness can't please anybody, and not even yourself. Just get it together and stop searching for excitement, because let's face it, you're boring as fuck. For the hero, or some would even say the warrior spirit, you tend to create chaos. You can't be settling a war if you're always starting the battle. You never learn your lessons, and you continue to be centered in the energy of unwanted situations. Like, really, how do you get yourself in this predicament? You're very immature and you lack the energy of feeling the guidance from others. You're dependent on others because you can't make a fucking decision to save your life. You tend to stay in the comfort zone because it feels so familiar, while you tend to lead people to think that your wild and reckless behaviors actually come from courage. And in fact, it's only insecurities. For the energy of the outlaw, it's almost a center of criminal. You are very detached and you don't get centered with your feelings or emotions. You lack self-love and also self-awareness. You're prone to the energy of feeling settled, and you're overly critical in everybody but yourself. Oftentimes you complain of change, but you set to lack the movement of making the first step. For the energy of the lover or the seducer, you're not in touch with your own feelings, and in fact you feel very disconnected because you lack self-love and even loyalty. You're prone to addiction and also random hookups. Some might say it's criminal, others say it's animal instinct. You're centered around destructive behaviors and wonder why your relationships always fall to shit. You're obsessive, but yet solely so dependent on just knowing that somebody will actually pay attention to that lonely soul that you call loving. To the jester, you're quite a magician. Some would even say a hater or a manipulator. You're dishonest with not just others, but even yourself. And you're trapped in the energies of emotions that feels centered around that immature aspect that you call wholesome. You're annoying, and yes, you are so self-sabotaging. Your behaviors need to get checked at the door if you ever want to see any improvement. For the sage, your entitlement is showing. You really think you are better than everybody else. You are obscene, way too opinionated, and in fact, you are very impossible to reason with. You're actually meant to be a loner because you disconnect to anything and everything. You're very arrogant and dishonest. In all honesty, you would be lucky if somebody even liked to be around you. Let me know which shadow energy rules your space at this current moment, if you're brave enough.